DETV Sports Update is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Welcome live inside the DETV studios here in Wilmington, Delaware. It's Super Bowl week as the Birds have touched down in New Orleans. We got the whole crew here on a Super Bowl Monday, but a lot of other things to talk about before we get to that big-time matchup between our Birds and the Kansas City Chiefs. Full crew here as you look to the wide shot here in Wilmington. We've got the Dr. Aaron Bass in the building here to talk a little Eagles football as well as some NBA. And then, of course, Jason McCall making his way back. He's wearing Eagle green today.
Celtics green. Shut your mouth.
It's the Kelly green.
It's looking similar to what the Doctor's got right there on his lap there. And then, of course, as always, Matthew Maurer back as well with us here on a Monday. So we got an action-packed show. We got the desk full and a lot to talk about. But before we dive in, Doctor, how we feeling today? We're hoping to get you last Monday, but here we are. It's our first chance to talk with you since the Birds punched their ticket to Super Bowl 59. They are in New Orleans as we speak. Landed, I believe, over the weekend or yesterday, and here we go. It is that time of the year. Eagles are back in the Super Bowl rematch with the Chiefs. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling really good. In fact, I'm feeling so good that I did not do my full attire today, so this is only just like a tenth of what's going to be in store for next week. If and when Go Birds, they take over and win in Kansas City, in New Orleans, beat the Chiefs. I feel really good. How do you feel?
I'm feeling fantastic. I mean, I've been feeling good since last week. I've been feeling good throughout the playoffs. I really have. I kind of figured the Chiefs might be up there for a rematch, and I like the Eagles' chances this week. Give me the. We're going to get to our picks and everything later. Give me the 2. Give me the 1.5. Whatever you got here. Eagles underdogs here.
1.5 underdogs. Yeah,
that's right.
I'll take that. How do you feel about watching the Eagles yet again?
Bring him back here, Jason McCall. How we feeling? You were at the Sixer game yesterday, supporting our Philadelphia 76ers, and now
supporting the Celtics, sir.
And then Eagles here in the Super Bowl. We haven't had a chance to talk to you the last few weeks because the Birds bunched their ticket. How we feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling like a three-piece is going to happen. It is.
Not surprising.
What was your prediction last week?
Hey, you watch mouth. Hey.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
You've had such a good run with your predictions. You got to stop letting the hate and infiltrate, because then you're getting bad predictions because of the hate.
We kind of like it because yes, Kansas City. You can put money in the bank right now.
We're going to get all that here later on the show. MVP pick, etc. So a lot to get into. Again, we're going to close out today with a big discussion on the Super Bowl.
Taylor Swift is your MVP pick for the Super Bowl? You about to say?
No.
I'm sorry.
No, Kendrick is, actually.
Kendrick wanted to be okay.
Man, what am I with him? He cleaned up last night.
That's a fact.
I'm sorry. I got to say this. A diss track, won 5 Grammys.
It was
a diss track.
It was quite the performance.
A diss track. I digress, but a diss track.
I'll tell you, as one person, again, we're getting really off topic.
And just real quick, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody sue. Drake has a lawsuit because of a diss track.
Yeah.
Hip hop died that day. I just want to say that right there. Go ahead, man.
It was a rough day if you're a Drake fan or Drake himself last night
Or
watching.
a Canadian. Or the entire nation of Canada. Go ahead.
Drake got to shave his head. This is it now. You got to shave his head. We're put on the high-tech boot. Get with Onyx and just make some songs. Wow. That's what he got to do. He got to get back.
Onyx.
He got to go back. He got to go way back.
Slam remix?
Yeah. He got to drop his gun in the airport a couple times. He got
to get that cred back.
Got to get that cred back. This is bad work.
Do a special with Brandy. Do a TV show with Brandy afterwards.
Yeah. When somebody does a diss track in hip hop, you got to come back with another diss track. You don't come back with your lawyer.
He came back.
He's not a better rapper, though. He's not a better rapper.
He's not a better rapper, but you still got to try, man.
You know what? Drake is the Baltimore Ravens of the NFL.
All
right, let's go. I might be giving him too much credit.
This is bad work.
What's your regular season champs?
So he's like the Meek Mill? Okay.
The Meek Mill.
All right.
Not the Meek Mill.
He hiding too. Where you at?
I haven't been talking with him. You been
sorry.
texting him? You been texting
I mean, y'all got a West Coast anthem now. It's not Dream Nightmares no more. I'm just saying out of nowhere. How'd that change that face?
But you don't like the Too Short? You don't like Blow the Whistle?
I like his favorite word. It was all right.
Hey, the whistle was good stuff.
It wasn't
I like somebody. He's right.
He asked the question about how you feel about the Eagles Since Jason's already said that he's guaranteed the Eagles victory with his Kansas City.
I mean,
He did pick the Commies last week, and he also picked the Bills.
I think by double digits.
By double digits. He had Lionel Richie going to the Super Bowl, the Commodores.
Once, twice.
Easy like Sunday morning. I'm so sorry. What were you saying?
I mean, per man, I think the Eagles got it. As long as they can keep the ball out of Pat Mahomes. That's it.
And Matthew,
Last play.
knows better than anybody if he has the ball in the final drive of the
But
game. It might be
I will say this, and I think it what leans best for the Eagles. Steve Spagnuolo couldn't stop Cook. I think you're going to have a hard time stopping Saquon this year. Yeah, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be
we'll
nasty.
see what they
There's
decide
going to be
to
some
do.
Saquon bombs going on.
They're going to load the box. They're going to leave every wide receiver man to man. I feel like Jalen might be doing some more in the air, and I think you can't stop that O-line. And that happened last week with the Commies. They tried to load the box. They were still, Jalen Hurts had rushing touchdowns along with Saquon.
Once again, you move those guys
Yeah,
up,
the
you better
linebackers
make
for
the
that-
play,
for
right?
that-
I will say this.
You get
I
to that
think
next level.
I don't think Hurts can run in this game because they got Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton, he makes very good speed in that, and he's just really easy. You got to do reverses on him, which is what they did with Buffalo, where he got him out of position. Because if he's in that middle and he's hawking you and he's got you, you're not gonna go very far.
I'm just saying you have multiple threats.
No, you definitely
And
do.
that's
They got more threats on offense than the Chiefs do. That's a fact.
This is a better team than in 22. And again,
I can agree with that 100%. No one argues that fact at all.
That's a
and,
fact.
and
Way
the
better team.
Chiefs have the same referees as 22.
Same referees.
Man, we-
Same players, same refs.
Oh,
So
see, we watched the
referees.
game at your house and you lost, right?
we did, but I don't recall ever watching it at your house with your team. I might have been.
Maybe one
When did
day-
Joe
one
Flacco
day
play
we
last? When was that?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
UD champ. Yeah, 2011.
Like Obama was around.
Obama years.
Obama was there.
Thank you for the
But you're
history
still
lesson.
trying to get to where we already are. Is that not correct?
We don't think about y'all in this competition.
You got one ring or
Like
two rings.
I want
You
to
got one or
tell
two.
you, there's
got
not
right?
one
You
Eagle
got one?
fan anywhere on
You
the
got one right?
planet
You got one right?
that tries to measure themselves against the Ravens. It's
You got
never
one right?
happened.
You got one right though. One right.
We play y'all what, once every 4 years?
Yes, and you finally won one. Good job. You're welcome.
Okay.
It's nasty work, and I love it.
Finally won one. You finally won in Baltimore. The first time in 30 years. Finally won in Baltimore. Good job.
It's good stuff.
Wait,
Again,
you still bitter about losing to the Eagles this year? We already had a whole show about that. We had a whole show about this.
That's great.
That's what I'm talking about. Let that
He
hate
just
out,
brought
baby.
this. How you just bring out a regular
Talk
season
about-
game? We in the
It's
postseason.
fine, and I believe a Raven helped y'all win the Super Bowl too. The one you won. But Torrey Smith was on y'all's roster, right? Okay.
That was a good.
Just saying. Ravens
Players
helped
who
you guys
plays in
win.
that Super
You
Bowl.
got the Ravens this time.
All right,
Sorry about that.
Derrick
loving
Henry,
this.
would he help y'all at all this year?
He did, actually.
Your regular season champs?
No, not at all.
Okay, I mean, go for it.
And we're gonna dive in. We're gonna get everybody's favorite picks. We're gonna
Sorry.
get everybody's favorite
I'm
prop
sorry.
bets. We're gonna get everybody's
Saquon didn't break the record
X-factors.
because it would have been 17 games. It would have been juiceless. It should have been 16. That's why he didn't play. It was 17 games. Leave it alone.
Wait,
Let's have a seat.
Well,
you
to
think
that
that
point,
16 is important?
I do.
Because you do understand that Orenthal.
did it in 14.
So what are we talking about?
Or they did it in 16 games. So the 17 game extra
well,
game.
Saquon 40 yards away from the all-time season cumulative rushing record, including the playoffs. Could have the best rushing season, statistically in NFL history. If he gets 40.
And then he'll be hurt next year like every running back that runs for a whole bunch of
Well,
yards.
that's a difference here. We hope not. that is not the case. But again, if we know one way you got to beat
Sunday.
the Chiefs,
Go Birds.
is you got to get pressure on Mahomes right up the middle on the outside. That's what the Bucks did in
Oh, come on, give me that
2019.
chain.
That's a nice chain.
This is the pre-Super Bowl chain. There's a post-Super Bowl chain, too. Blow the whistle. Go ahead.
There you go. That's right. We're going to all touch on this here as we close out the show tonight, so don't go anywhere. But guys, I mean, I can't believe we've already made it 5 minutes into the show. And some big
We're
news
still doing the intro.
coming across. Big news coming across everybody's phones on Sunday morning around 12:15 Eastern time, where we had, in my opinion, the most shocking trade in NBA history is the 5-time straight first-team All-NBA player guard for the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, being shipped to LA to play for the Lakers for Anthony Davis, 31-year-old All-NBA player as well, and All-Defensive Player nominee coming up this year, and obviously been one of the best defensive players in the league throughout his career. But a lot to unpack here. We're going to have Matthew here. Great, so we're going to talk to him about some of that stuff as well as all of us. But guys, it's just want to get your initial reaction. We're going to dive into all the info here. We've got tons of it. In fact, just to get us started here, we're going to get – this is the headline out of the Dallas Star coming out this morning. If we could get letter A, Dennis, up for everybody at home here. This was the headline of the Dallas Star is – Luka was ours, and now he is not. Shipped off to Dallas. You had fans outside the arena crying with all their merchandise. It was, claiming this was supposed to be a statue out here with Luka Doncic. I've never seen quite the reaction to a trade like this. I've never seen a trade like this. And then you see Dennis, and we can put B up on the screen. This was Luka's tweet saying goodbye on Saturday night to his fans there. Basketball is saying all has been said is he's very excited to keep going, etc. Basketball is his passion, and
that's about 40 pounds lighter on that, man. It's 40 pounds ago. But
and then if we can throw C up there now as well, Dennis, it's just going to keep going. So a lot of here, Luka saying goodbye. Here's the message he actually penned there to the city of Dallas, and in the message he has here that he sent out this morning, did not thank the Dallas Mavericks organization. He thanked the fans and his teammates. Usually get a, hey, thank you, Dallas fans. He did not do that. Word coming out of his camp, he's not too happy with Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks. We're used to seeing people get traded to the Lakers, and it's a good thing. Everybody wants to go play for the Lakers, unfortunately. I know we all don't feel that way here on the desk. But he, rumor has it, was not really happy with the whole situation. He just bought a $15 million house a few weeks ago in Dallas. Apparently shed a tear or two when he found out the news on Saturday night. So an unbelievable trade. Matthew, to start with you here, though. Yeah. Initial reaction, as you can see on your screen, Luka arriving in LA, that video for D here, Dennis, coming up. But your initial reaction, Luka's on a plane Saturday, winds up in LA yesterday. Mm-hmm. I mean, Luka, 25 years old. There's been no player that has had 5 first-team All-NBA appearances by the age of 25 ever. Luka did that. The other guys on that short list are Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Giannis. All those guys are in their 30s. Right. He's 25. I mean, we've never seen anything like this. Your initial reaction when we had that group text on Saturday night?
My initial reaction was I thought it was fake. And I had to make some text, and I was like, this isn't real. This isn't a real trade. This is a terrible trade. And I started getting some feedback, and people were like, no, it's a real trade. And I was like, no, this is still crazy. There's no way. It's got to be something I'm missing. And to me, Nico Harrison, if they don't win a title this year or next year, Nico Harrison will never work in this industry again. I mean, this is that bad. I mean, you don't trade a guy like, first of all, let's be honest. Everybody goes in the draft every year and they try to find a Luka Doncic. You hit him on 3. You picked him 3rd. Marvin Bagley and Ayton went above him. You picked him 3rd. Then you get a guy who's generational. He's 5 first team in all NBAs in a row. He took you guys to the NBA Finals this past year.
Like, that's what I'm saying. He was, I believe, 2nd or 3rd in the MVP, with Vegas coming into the season. Mm-hmm. We've never seen a player with that high, 2nd in MVP odds get traded in the same season. And we're going to dive into a lot of the reasons why here shortly, but it is. Again, I was stunned.
And then the return. So you get AD. Respectfully, I'm saying this about AD because I'm a big fan.
He's having a great year, too. 20 and 40 his last game.
You bought Mr. Glass. Like, this guy is going to be good for, maybe 40 games a year, and you'll be lucky if you get him all those 40 games. So you got that. Then you got a couple other pieces that no one really going to care about, and that's it. Rudy Gobert, just a really quick, 5 first-round picks off him.
LA.
Like, this is crazy to me. I mean, I don't know. And then the press conference was crazy to me.
And we're going to hear that here a little bit.
I mean, Jason Kidd looked like he was in a hostage video. As Nico Harrison is like, I didn't really kidnap him. He's here of free will. Like, it's like, no. Jason Kidd looked like he's like, look, I'm just going to just coach my team, get this check, and then just get ready to find another job. It's bad, bro. They got to win. If they don't win, he's done. He's done. I don't see how he recovers.
And just to outline the full trade here, guys, in front of us, I mean, it was Doncic, Markieff Morris, and Maxi Kleber who were shipped to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and that 2029 first-round pick. So let's dive in here, guys. Why did the Mavericks? I mean, everybody's been asking themselves here for 2 or 3 days, why would Dallas, do this? This has a move that sniffs of the Dallas Cowboys, not the Dallas Mavericks, right? That's what it's kind of coming down to. But they highlighted this, guys. The reason Tim McMahon, who covers the Mavericks for ESPN, and he got this quote from the organization, is that this was a conditioning thing. They did not like the way he carried his, treated his body, did not take diet seriously. You saw him then take the beer out of his hand after the conference championship last year in the locker room ahead of the NBA Finals. Luka being an adult guy, coming from overseas, drinking at a young age, that was something he's always done. And then this year coming in, to the season. Usually plays at around 240, right, is his normal weight. Came into this year in the upper 260s, so that's way higher than what they were anticipating coming in. Didn't affect his play, though. The numbers are still there, but the calf injury has happened twice this year. The reason he's been out as of late, that's now 4 times in the last 3 years he's had those calf problems. So, again, according to the organization, this is not bad luck. It's frustration. They think it's a result about diet and conditioning and why he's getting hurt lately. And then, guys, the last quote here is, and it results to the Philadelphia 76ers, and this was a quote from, I believe, Ramona Shelburne, they do not want to see him end up like Joel Embiid. That was an exact comparison that they used before, announcing the trade there.
Agreed.
So we've seen all these things. Like Zion, it's happened with Zion. We talked about, is he ever going to play and how that's been a disaster for New Orleans. You talk about Embiid, but we've never seen anybody act on it this early in somebody's career at 25. To project that, in my opinion, is insane. Like, according to Matthew's point, if the Mavericks don't win a championship, Luka's 25. It's not like he's 30 and he's getting up there in weight now. He's 25 years old. He has time to change that. He went to the finals last year. It doesn't make sense to me, Jason, why you make this move if you're the Lakers. I mean, I just don't buy that reason for the condition. And again, and he could be a genius. If they get out in front of this, he's a genius, right? If Luka doesn't play even at the same level, that's what you're banking on. If he's playing at the same level, it's already a loss. You're wrong. You're banking, if you're the Mavericks, on the fact that he is not going to be what he even has been, and nonetheless even better going forward here from the age of 25.
Dallas has already lost his trade. You traded a 5-time first-team All-NBA player at the age of 25 years old to the Lakers, who we know historically are poachers of great talent. The Lakers are the team where you look at your star player, another team, oh my God, we might have them 4 or 5 good years and they might go to LA. I mean, it started all back from when Kareem left Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. Then you have, I'll go a little further, before that, Chamberlain went to LA and won a ring. I mean, then you go to Shaq leaving Orlando, which was like a big deal. This reaction was like Shaq leaving Orlando, going to LA then. Then the steal in 08 with Pau Gasol.
Right. I mean, this is what I believe. Whatever years is from the date was the exact date of this.
Yeah, it was 17 years from the exact date when they got Pau Gasol. So, but you vetoed the Chris Paul trade. I'd never leave that alone for tonight. But
where is
miss you,
David
David
Stern?
Stern.
Need him, right?
So,
and we're gonna get into that here.
So my thing is, it's a surprising trade. Yes, the biggest surprise I've seen in probably the last 10 years.
I would say history. I would say.
But
history.
is it a surprising trade for the Lakers? No. And the reason why, and they got him for basically nothing. Like,
it makes no sense.
The Aaron Fox just got three first-round picks from him yesterday.
Into that as well, yeah.
The Aaron Fox, he's good, but he's no Luka. But at the same time, I was like this: Luka's gonna walk into Staples. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's called what? It's crypto now.
Crypto arena.
Those jerseys in the Raptors and those 17 banners, could be up 18 now. Those 17 banners, they're going to motivate him to get it. And then you have LeBron, who was the most like in shape athlete.
It doesn't get any better than that. Yeah.
Ever. You pair him with LeBron, but the problem is, Matt, we'll circle back later on to it. This really ain't a good basketball fit. Because they both play the exact same style.
And again, that's the thing, right? But if you're the Lakers,
lots of offense, no defense.
and that's the thing.
But
Lakers, you're
both
punting this year. You're punting this year.
They're both 6'8" and ball dominant. Mm-hmm. They had the exact same skill set. Hell, his called Luka Magic. Like they called like.
This was not a move, to your point.
But also, outside of the conditioning, like with the 11-day thing, which was a weight problem, they listed the wrist strain. I saw that earlier. Mm-hmm. There's also some rumors on other sports media site I was reading about. Nico Harrison's wife was very fond of.
I don't know if that
Luka.
was real or not.
Whoa, so those are just rumors.
Those are rumors.
Those are rumors.
But where there's
not
smoke,
endorsed by DETV
Not
or its
endorsed.
affiliates.
But
go ahead.
Where there is smoke, there's always fire, though, because we said it about the whole Ime Udoka situation, and it blew up in everybody's face in Boston. So when there's smoke, there's fire. But there's no way to do this trade. I don't care if he's fat or what. 25 or 25. You still got another good 10 years out of this guy, at least.
I can tell you why the trade was made.
Let's go.
Here's the depth of it.
Is this
First
a
off,
conspiracy theory?
no, less conspiracy, more about Texas diet versus LA diet. He's going bean sprouts and watercress. He'll be eating
No more
seaweed.
barbecue, right?
No barbecue. Texas, all Texas barbecue. That's all Doncic was getting. Because I understand, coming from Eastern Europe, he got excited on the barbecue sauce. I get it. So that part, that's a good trade. 2, I do believe that Jerry Jones was involved
He had
somehow
to
in this
be,
trade.
right? He had to be.
Because to your point, it was a Dallas Cowboys trade, and I wish they would have traded for Embiid because I agree that we don't want others like Embiid. So, and I'm a proud Sixer. Just want to put that out there. Go Philly, but Embiid, I'll trade him.
Like now you think back a few years ago, that would have been as if the Sixers traded Embiid 3 or 4 years ago before this whole thing happened, and then you're thinking, hey, maybe they did make this.
You would have
smart
seen
move.
me in Wells Fargo in the parking lot. I'd be the one person crying tears of joy 3-4 years ago because I've been saying this for a while. Trade Embiid. Even before the MVP.
And Bronny James still ain't getting no tick.
And to Jason's point, though, right? This is this fell into the lap of Rob Pelinka, right? They had been, just to give everyone some background info, Nico Harris and Rob Pelinka go back 25 to 30 years, right? Back when they were both with Kobe Bryant, they were very close with Kobe.
Collusion.
They've traveled the world together. They're very close. Nobody else was kind of brought into this deal. This was a one text to Rob Pelinka. This was a secret deal, and nobody else had any involvement in it at all. They didn't start a bidding war. This was, hey, we want Anthony Davis. Let's reach out. And again, something about this seems very odd to me about the Lakers being able to get Luka Doncic for nothing.
They got him first.
And in fact, let's hear now. Let's put up E here, Dennis, if we could get the press conference here. This is what Nico Harrison had to say, and this is where Matthew was alluding to of Jason Kidd looking has a hostage here. This is what he said for the reasoning on why they traded the 25-year-old superstar.
All right, I'll open it up. Thanks for everybody for coming. Jay, is it normally this crowded for your pregame speeches?
No, they don't want to hear about everybody who's out.
No, on a serious note, we definitely understand the magnitude of what just transpired. It's not lost on us. Definitely would like to thank Luka for his brilliance and, over the last, 4 years since we've been here, what we've been able to accomplish, as well as, Maxi Kleber. He got hurt the other day, and I go in the back and check on him, and the first thing he says is sorry for getting hurt. But that just, kind of goes to the type of person he is. And then also Smooth, like he was such a great guy in the locker room. So I just want to, thank all those guys for their contribution to get us to where we're at. And then as we turn the page, I think it's important to know that Jay Kidd and I, we've had a vision in the culture that we want to create since we've been here. And the players that we're bringing in, we believe exemplify that. And, we think defense wins championships. And we're bringing in one of the best two-way players in the league. A lot of people don't talk about, what he does defensively and offensively, but, if you can name first-team All-NBA players that are also first-team All-Defensive players. That's a unique unicorn to try to find, and we're able to find that. And as well, you look at Max Christie. He was their starting two-guard, guarded all the top players in the league, and he's young and athletic and bouncy and, gets his hands on lots of balls. So we really feel that they're bringing in, they're adding into the culture that we're trying to create here. We feel that defense wins championships, and we're excited to go. We feel like we're built to win now as well as in the future.
Done like that, as opposed
I'm just
to
here so I
opening
won't
it
get
up.
fined.
I
Jason
am.
Kidd.
I mean, and as Matthew said, awkward seeing Jason Kidd there. A lot of the rumors are that he is not. He was not made aware of this. I find that hard to believe, but that's what they said. He wasn't aware. LeBron wasn't made aware. This was a secret one-on-one text. And going back to your point about Chris Paul, this was the reason. The reason they're saying that for the Lakers, they said they didn't tell him because they didn't want to have anybody find out and have a Chris Paul deal where they went to the commissioner and they tried to. I buy that though. I think
No, Adam Silver ain't got no backbone. He ain't vetoing nothing, man. That's why this league is overrun
they said the
by
reason they
bulls.
did it there, but I mean, what do you guys think about that? Defense, let's focus on the defense. He said defense wins championships. That's why he made the deal. He's known Anthony Davis since he was young at Kentucky with the whole Nike thing. He's been a very fond of Anthony Davis. Was it Michael Finley's from Chicago, Anthony Davis from Chicago? There's a lot of ties with the Mavericks. They've wanted him for years, but this is not the way to get him. This is ridiculous.
I call BS on this entire deal.
That's
I
a
don't
fact.
care what you say. You can't make me eat this plate and say it tastes good. It's just not going to happen. This is a microwave meal. They're trying to say it's gourmet, and it's nowhere near gourmet. Like,
If you in LA, it's gourmet.
but
They
how
are
do you-
rejoicing in
how
the
do you-
last
no,
couple of days.
how do
Oh,
you do
man,
this?
it hurts.
And Jay Kidd, let it go. The back was half. You gotta let it go, bro. You're like 60. Like, let it go.
Jason Kidd with the spinners back in the day.
Let it go. But my thing is this,
Jay
right?
Kidd gotta get. Why the light skinned brother gotta take a
But-
shot?
but-
Like that? That's crazy.
Pow pow. Anyway,
straight
but honestly though, like as far as the basketball is concerned, The Mavericks are still in win now mode with adding AD with Kyrie.
I mean,
I see
obviously
that.
they're going
I
for a
get that.
championship. They have to get one now.
But you can't tell me defense wins championships and you're not even playing defense all year. Like you're not going to make me eat that plate again. But also, it's like you traded the face of your franchise, one of the faces of the NBA.
Yes, absolutely.
Like Luka's one of the three names you mentioned. You mentioned LeBron, you mentioned Giannis, you mentioned Luka, you mentioned
well,
the
you're
Joker.
starting a team, right? You got three guys. You got Victor, Luka, and Anthony Edwards and Shea. Would those be your top four guys?
If you ask any GM to draft a point guard right now, start their team, they're taking Luka.
Agreed.
They're taking Luka. Like
Shoot from anywhere.
they're taking Luka. Like 6'8", 6'9". What's his average for his career? 28, 6 and 6, something like that. Something crazy like that.
It's like 7 and 8.
He is second in all-time
crazy.
NBA
All-time
average
scoring
scoring
average.
in the playoffs, only
Yeah.
behind Michael Jordan. He
Yeah,
averages
like
30 a game in the playoffs.
and you let that walk out the door for AD in a bag of chips.
It makes no sense. I mean, I was visually
McDonald's.
Listen, if he's still putting his numbers at 270, you should get that man
I
a
buy
pat
that
on the
man a
back.
Happy Meal every game.
Listen, if I'm still on the court at 270 and still giving people 30
That's what I'm
pieces,
saying, and that's what the numbers didn't drop off.
30 pieces winged in the
That's
offense.
why-
Sixers fans,
I mean,
but
the
I
whole
think-
thing to me is just so odd, right? I mean, I get it. I mean, you have to be.
This is crazy.
If you're going to make this deal in your Dallas, you have to be almost positive you are going to have to guarantee that his body's going to break down, or you have to almost bet that he is not going to be
He
that
would need
guy.
a Derek Coleman fall off.
Yeah, but you have to
Then
be
it has to be
sure of that,
precipitous.
and that's something that you can't anticipate, in my opinion. I mean, you have
Not
to.
Derek
You
Coleman.
have to
It
think.
had to be Derek Coleman. That's the only way he can justify.
You
this
have to
trade.
think you're the smartest guy. I think he must think he's the smartest guy in the
Clearly
room.
Well,
we know he's the
He
dumbest
clearly
guy 'cause
does.
he-
There were rumors coming out from the organization that he's on a little bit of a power trip over there in Dallas. Again, he's only been there a few years. He didn't draft Luka. Mark Cuban sold the team, and there's been some changes there that have not been basketball friendly if you're a Dallas Maverick.
So I'll just put out this might be some chest thumping, and I don't know about the other conspiracy, but I do think this was Nico saying this is my team.
Yeah.
Luka, there's some behind the scenes stuff.
Yes,
we don't know the
absolutely.
locker
There has to
room,
be.
and so pay you a supermax contract coming out because he's about to. Luka's contract ends when next year?
This year.
2 years
This year?
from now, but he's
2
this
years.
summer he's eligible for a
eligible.
supermax.
Well, he was.
He was.
Well,
He was.
yeah, well,
eligible.
and that's a whole big
He
deal.
cost him.
This is a nice little chest
It went
bump.
from 5 years, $345 million,
This is huge.
to 4 years, $229.
But I
He
will say
lost
this.
tens of millions of
He lost-
dollars with this trade.
I will say this.
$160 million to be
Yeah,
exact.
the problem with Nico's chest bump is this. If I'm a player and I'm a big player and I'm free agency,
I don't trust you.
I'm not
Dallas.
trusting you, good
No
Dallas.
doubt. No way.
I'm not
I don't
signing there,
trust
bro.
you.
You can get the third or fourth good free agent guy. You're not getting me. If I'm a tier 1 free agent, I'm not signing with Dallas. Why would I? I just seen how you just traded
Yeah,
a generational
unbelievable.
talent. Why would I sign with you?
And think about this, y'all.
You not Red Auerbach, bro.
But think about how crazy
Ain't
this
done
sounds.
nothing.
Think about how crazy this sounds.
Nothing.
Kyrie's used to locker room cancer. He's still on the team. They traded Luka and kept Kyrie.
But Kyrie's been quiet.
Yeah.
You haven't
averaging
heard that.
20.
He got a quiet.
You know why he been quiet.
been
He been
quiet.
smart.
Yeah,
he
he
been
being
smart, brother
And
Kai.
that's the thing,
But
though,
I'm saying,
is
like,
they must
you
have
would
a
never
lot of
think that.
confidence in him.
Well, he
They
is.
think they are a
Kai-
championship team with
do.
Kyrie and
They
Anthony
do.
But let me
Davis.
just say this too. People got to stop with this narrative that Bron didn't know nothing or that Bron is not in power still. Y'all are tripping. They just drafted his boy who averaged 2 points a game.
That is true.
But it's
Like,
the
we
thing.
got to stop.
This
Wait,
isn't a
who
win
gets
now
more, who gets
mode,
more
though, for
time
the
though,
Lakers.
Bronny or Luka? I do think we should have a whole segment about that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I tell you this. If I'm Luka, I'm asking Bron what he do with his body.
Oh yeah, no, and that's I think that's the
Other
part
than
of the
that,
reason.
clear.
Is if you're the Lakers, what are they saying now?
The clear. Other than that clear, what you doing, bro? Is it just the clear?
My
I
man
need to
said
know.
running with the Balco.
But here's the
Yeah.
thing, and Jason talking about this is a move. This is strictly a move if you're the Lakers for the future.
I'm listening to you. Go ahead. I'm
This
listening
strictly,
to
if
you.
this is the Lakers. This is a move for the future. You are not trying to win this year if you make it. They have no center. Jackson Hayes is how they're
Well, they
starting
drafted
center.
Bronny, so we're definitely not
that's
winning
what-
this year.
This is a punt. This is a hey, we have our face of the franchise for after LeBron. They are
After
thinking
LeBron,
now
yeah.
after LeBron.
Well,
I
they're
don't-
thinking this year too, because I know that there's rumors of Mitchell Robinson going to LML.
Listen,
He'd be perfect for
They are nothing this year. They are not going to do anything.
They
I don't
can have
even know
Embiid right now.
for Luka. We'll
Packing
take
chips.
Dalton Connect.
Shoot. Nice little.
And
It had to be
that-
Dog Connect in Austin. Reeves.
Well, that's the thing. So now that takes us
And
guys
a
here
pick.
to the next point, and our next point is why just the Lakers? I mean, if you want something back, if you were to open this up to a bidding and you were to reach out to the teams, you could have gotten 10 times more than what the Lakers got. Here's a video here we have for why Brian Windhorst on ESPN this morning talked about his confusion with why it was just the Lakers and the Mavericks. Dennis, we could roll F.
All they got for Luka Doncic, Wendy. What can you tell me?
Yeah, within the league, what the reaction was this. Even if you decide that Luka Doncic is not going to be your franchise player, and that's a repudiation of one of the highest levels we've ever seen, but there are people in the league who say, okay, the Mavericks have more information on Luka than anybody else. If this is what they believe, then they made their decision. People in the league can kind of get that. What people in the league don't understand is why they wouldn't then open this up to a wide market to get the best deal and get a bidding war going. But okay, if the Mavericks decided that the player they wanted, no matter what bidding war happened, was Anthony Davis, okay, you make a deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. But within that deal with the Lakers, what the league can't understand is how do you not get everything from them? How do you not get Austin Reeves? How do you not get both first-round picks that they have? Heck, even if you couldn't get Austin Reeves because the mechanics of doing a trade are much more difficult, how do you not get both first-round draft picks the Lakers have? That's what the league was reacting to. What was left on the table with the Lakers, not to mention what could have been left on the table across the rest.
This is such a weird situation. I really cannot understand it at all. It just seems to me really slick with Nico Harrison. Again, big Kobe guy. He's a known Lakers fan, even though he works for the Dallas Mavericks. And again, this is all conspiracy-esque. But I'm just saying, just something doesn't smell right to me. It is a very weird situation.
This is the same man that botched Steph Curry's deal with Nike, and which is why he left and went to Under Armour.
That's right. Dennis, put I up on the screen now if we got it. Here are just a few of the things, and this is an excerpt from an article here as well, talking about some of the stuff that Nico Harrison messed up during his tenure there with Nike. In 2013, he botched a presentation to Steph Curry, where according to Harrison, he called him Seth Curry. And then the presentation used was actually a presentation they made for Kevin Durant. This was along with not offering Curry his signature shoe, and it caused the superstar to switch from Nike and sign with Under Armour. Those are just one of the big reasons, or one of the things that he did over at Nike that a lot of people have been highlighting here the last few days. Again, you always get these guys. You have Pelinka start off as an agent, becomes now administrator, upper management there for the Lakers. Nico Harrison starts with Nike, somehow gets this job in 2021. Again, didn't draft Luka. Has only been there for
it's this concept
that Luka's brought, and then ships him out of town.
Yeah, I don't know how he got the job.
Agreed.
At all. And there's nothing in his background that would lead me to believe he could be a leader of a team and guide somebody. Like, I've just never been impressed with Nico. I know people in the business, they've talked about Nico, and they say he has a good mind for basketball. But, like, I don't see it. I don't see it in anything he does. I mean, again, this is just him and Nike. This isn't even we don't know how he is in processing information. We don't know how he is in terms of scouting and evaluation of talent. We don't know anything, really. And I just don't think the guy's that good. But, I mean, again, somebody hired him.
I think the industry's changed for the NFL and the NBA, and now you have ownership groups. You don't have this owner that is like blood, sweat, and tears. Mark Cuban was one of the last
he would have
dying
never
breed.
traded Luka.
Yeah, who's out there on the court, like bleeding blue with the city.
That's right.
You don't have that anymore.
Nah.
So I think Nico gets in front of a bunch of corporate hedge fund people.
Right.
Has a good idea about basketball and is likable by that group. That's how he got it. But I don't think you're going to have like this great mind anymore. Yeah. And I do think that because it was such a quick one-way trade, that also Luka couldn't even react to.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's a
on
midnight massacre.
Exactly.
That was just, that's on purpose.
From the stuff that we've gathered today was they didn't want any outside influence. They didn't want Luka to try to hold them hostage. They didn't want to have him kind of influence where he wanted to go. They didn't want to have him influence what they got back. And again, they just really, that is, as Matthew alluded to it earlier, that's just not how you treat not only your players in general, but your superstar who's done so much for them here since he was drafted. Took them to the it was last year. It was not even a year ago.
The only time it's going to come through there is through the draft and secondary or third free agent players.
That's what Luka did.
We're talking about Dallas Mavericks, right? We're not talking about like a big market. We're not talking about a Knicks or like a LA or like a Boston or like a Philly. We're talking about Dallas Mavericks. They have a good superstar once every like 20 years. Hell, they sent out Jason Kidd in his prime.
Yeah.
To Phoenix because they didn't like what he was doing with management.
Shout out to Triple J.
And with the whole Tony Braxton situation, but that's another rumor too. But they do this? Like,
Shout out to Tony Braxton.
Orlando Blackman was their longest tenure player outside of Dirk. They stayed there for the whole career for the most part. Like, this is weird. Like, it's just crazy. It's weird. And then like you said earlier, if I'm a free agent, I'm not coming to Dallas. I'm not going there. I mean, they might because of the contract situation with the money.
Sure.
Money
Sure.
there in Texas.
Money. Yeah.
But you get all your
They
money.
ain't gonna be first on my list.
But you get all your money in Cali too. People don't realize
Well,
that.
you get better tax benefits in Texas though too.
That's a big, and not only does he lose the Supermax money, but now he's got California tax money over there too. So that's a big money switch up there.
But from a
That's why Delaware needs an NBA team. Just throwing it out there. Go Blue Coats.
There we go. Go Blue Coats.
where you gonna put him at?
We'll do what we can do. Shoot, the Blue Coats are the Sixers, by the way, at this point, because everyone's injured.
I think they had the same starting lineup last week.
Yeah, the starting lineup was Doughton. It was Council. It was
Excellent point. Excellent point.
But
That's an excellent
part of
point,
this too, guys, though, is at least for
tax
me,
rates
is
here in
that you
Delaware.
guys, I'm sure you guys feel the same way growing up. It's the Lakers always get these guys. Right? It's like, and you said this earlier. Why does it have to be the Lakers?
It's LA.
Everything
It's
always
LA.
falls
It's LA.
into
It's
the
the
lap
appeal.
of the Lakers. Well, here's
appeal,
Ramona
bro.
Shell. Brought me another clip here, Dennis, so we can play G
Form Club.
on how people feel and how she just describing about the public view here of the Lakers.
There's a reason why the rest of the league does not like the Lakers. It's because they always seem to find a way to pull off trades and get generational talent like this. How did they end up with Kobe Bryant? How did they end up with Pau Gasol 17 years to the day of this Luka Doncic trade? When the reaction to that Pau Gasol trade was very similar to the one I got last night from league executives and from players around the league, which is simply, wait, how is this not available to everybody else? How did he end up on the Lakers? And there's this sort of jealousy around the league that the Lakers get deals like this. And I think it's, look, I've lived here my entire life. I grew up with the Showtime Lakers. And so I understand the makings of this. And you'll always hear fans talk about how they got Kareem or Magic. And whenever there's a star player in the league, Hannah, the Laker fans like to do this. They take their picture and they put a Lakers jersey on them, and the rest of the league hates Laker fans for doing that. But there's a reason why they do it. It's because the Lakers tend to pull off trades like this.
Yeah, and it's so interesting.
So I think
Kobe Bryant was drafted. That's all I'm saying.
At 13th pick.
Yeah,
But and again,
For Vlade, right? When they traded?
Vlade, yeah.
When you ask people around the league, coming up to this week, is executives in the Eastern Western Conference are furious about the way this went down, how it was just the Lakers, nobody else was notified, etc.
We need David
I mean,
Stern to come
really
back.
is. I mean, I guess everybody in the league very,
call heaven for that one,
very
David Stern have been
unhappy
like,
with
nah, dog. It's not happening.
Yeah,
Not
I'll
on
call
my
heaven
watch.
for that. Made that.
That's a
decision.
fact.
Hey,
Ask Abe Powell. God bless him. He said, nah, you guys going to keep Juwan Howard. Miami ain't getting him, bro.
Did you hear Adam Silver also wants to reduce the minutes
Yeah, because he's
per
40.
quarter?
Yeah,
The whole game, yeah.
the whole game to 40.
Whole
Yeah.
game to 40 minutes.
I don't know what was going on with him.
I don't get any of this. Like even
It's
with
longevity,
Even
that's
with
what
this,
it was for.
no.
That's what it was for.
Even with this whack ass All Star format this year with the 4 teams.
But All-Star thing is broke.
Hey, but
The NFL just did a Pro Bowl with
flag football. Yeah, this cut it all
I
from
respect that, though.
No, I don't. Cut it all together.
mixed in. There was
I
entertainment.
heard a better idea. You take the second best teams from the NFC and from the AFC. Let the Bills play the commies. Go for third place. I'll watch that.
Oh, I'd watch it.
That'd be a decent game.
That'd be, yeah.
I just don't think they'd
And then you get like a little trophy next to the big one.
Like
It's a
this.
Super Bowl, and it's like
this.
It's just the helmet. It's just the football.
Like this.
It's not even
What
actually
y'all
the
getting
helmet.
this year? Like this.
I mean,
We're gonna get back to the football.
we'll get back to the Eagles.
Yeah, in a few minutes. Just quickly though.
That's later in the
overall
in the show.
outcomes. I mean, we just talked about though. Lakers building for the future now,
Yeah.
right?
Just
Looking
sip my
past
tea.
LeBron James.
Yep.
They don't really have a center. The way they deconstructed the roster for this trade, they're not going to compete this year, right? That's not something.
No.
But if you're the Mavericks, that's exactly what they're saying they're trying to do, right? They get Anthony Davis, and now they're building what they think is the right way to go down low.
They built talking points today. They were like, wait, what? Because no one knew this was happening. There was not. We had a meeting. This has been a plan. This
NBA
is-
had to steal Super Bowl week, man. They had to steal Super
They
Bowl
didn't.
week.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
They stole Pro Bowl weekend, which nobody's watching that. That was easy.
But then you go out, right? You got Gafford at center. Now you got Anthony Davis at the 4. Derek Lively coming back, and they are building a huge team inside, which is obviously what the Thunder don't have with no Chet Holmgren, etc. They think they could win the Western Conference this year. What do you guys think? Are they now legitimate contenders with this swap to win the West?
No.
Who? And if you feel that strongly about it, that just goes to show you how even more insane this is.
I mean,
He's counting 89
They
playing.
won the West last year with Luka.
And that's my point.
I don't understand. Did they really think that Anthony Davis and minus Luka is going to push them over the top?
They
It's
do.
like-
They
Over
really
Oklahoma
do.
City? There's no way.
But they do.
You need your score.
I mean, in fact,
Not
just
even
to
over
that
Denver.
point, Dennis, can we put H on for everybody now? They truthfully believe that they can win now.
I got the Riddler tie.
Kyrie Irving is in his early 30s. They have a timeline that has to match Kyrie. And so going and getting 5 or 6 or 8 first-round picks only helps you so much. They also wanted to get a player who could help them win now. They believe this team is good enough they can compete for this year. So you start to have those parameters, you start to narrow it down. That's how they identified Anthony Davis. The more I've talked to executives and people over the league of the last 2 days, I've come to understand why they decided to move off of Luka. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand why they did.
Can you share a little bit more just what that understanding is?
It's like what Shams said, they didn't believe in giving him the $350 million. That is a controversial and potentially catastrophic decision.
Yeah.
But once you've made that decision, now you can say, okay, what are we going to trade for? Well, they want to trade for somebody who could help them today, not a first-round pick in 2031. Okay, Anthony Davis, that makes sense. Even if you disagree with that, I can follow their thinking. Where I don't follow their thinking, where I stop, is how they didn't get more from the Lakers. That's the uncaused cause that I haven't quite reconciled, and I've yet to talk to somebody in the league that completely understands that.
Should have traded Bronny in that trade, too.
That's a fact.
That would have been.
But, I mean, again, not only is they giving you a
As
reason,
ransom.
you know, they didn't want to pay Luka. They were nervous about the
Ransom.
Supermax.
Make 'em serve food.
No player has ever not signed the Supermax in NBA history.
gonna sign it.
He was obviously going to sign it. He wanted to be a Dallas Maverick.
He just bought his house.
They didn't want Dallas. They didn't want Luka. They obviously did not want him. They think they can win now. But again, up for debate. I'm not sure if they could win the West with this.
This is going to bite them in the ass. We going to laugh when it happens.
AD is going to play 5 games. It's not even going.
And then he's going to stub his big toe at night.
Yep.
And then that's going to be
And
it.
his belly's still hurting from the
They're rapping and bubble rapping. I ain't lying.
But again, I mean, they're putting all their chips in the Kyrie Irving basket, who's also dealing with a back injury this year. He's missed some time. He's averaging, 28 points a game, looking good offensively. They are putting their eggs in the Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis basket. They're saying we could win this year. I disagree with them. I think everybody else disagrees with them. It's wild to me. I don't ever want to watch Luka for a minute with the Lakers. It is just going to be awful.
You're going to watch it. We're going to
watch it.
It's going to be force fed.
It's like watching an accident happen. You're like,
definitely
I
gonna
gotta
watch
look.
it.
Yeah.
We're going to be force fed. They're going to be on game
You're going to
TV
watch
every week.
LeBron out there, doing his LeBron.
You're going to see a picture of LeBron, Bronny, and Luka, all like a little tear coming down in some emotional game.
Wait, so you mean tell me that the 2 biggest floppers in NBA history are on the same team now?
Yes, I do.
Crybabies and it is on the same team
Part
now.
of the Mavericks' reason was they didn't like the way he complained to the officials.
LeBron made that happen. Like LeBron made flopping a thing. Steph made the 3-point. Jordan just made some dope sneakers, and LeBron flopped.
Everybody's responsible for one big thing.
Yeah, LeBron flopped.
And James Harden is responsible for the step back that everybody shoots now. Jesus Christ, everybody shoots a step back.
Well, they stopped.
And it's a travel. I don't care what you say. Step back is a travel.
I mean, again, overall landscape.
Zero steps, sir.
Just look just at the Western Conference now.
The Euro step.
Again, we talk about you don't think the Mavericks can win this year. You don't think the Lakers can win it this year. So this for you is just long term.
It's long-term planning by the Lakers, but I mean, it's short-term moronicness by the Dallas Mavericks. Like, you can't even do this trade on NBA 2K.
I was going to say that. You can't do it. It would veto every time.
Yeah, they're going to be like, nah, dog, we ain't doing it, dog.
It would
We
veto
ain't
it every
doing it,
time.
dog.
On text messages.
Yeah.
On the
like, dude, if you play fantasy basketball with, like, your bro, it was like, dog,
ESPN, I can't do it right now.
I got Luka Doncic, you give me Anthony Davis, and, that'd be good, right?
I mean, how lucky are Lakers fans? I mean, just how lucky can you be? Rob Pelinka, just lucky. And again, I know those guys have known each other for 30 whatever years. Something, again, is just doesn't sit right with me.
Rob Pelinka is a mid-GM, I ain't gonna lie.
Got Luka.
What does that mean?
He got Luka.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It goes back.
And he got Bronny.
In the future, we're going to look back and it's going to be his thing.
He
even though
drafted
it shouldn't be.
LeBron James Jr.
He
with a
had
draft
to.
pick.
He had to.
And that's why he's not a good GM.
No,
He had to, because I would have told Bronny, I'd been like, nope.
Yeah, but LeBron had that when he even came to the Lakers. He was like, just so you know, my son is 14. He needs a job in a few years.
So here's a question: you think you're gonna draft Bryce?
No.
Bryce is going to go higher than that. He won't even fall to the second round. Bryce's game is going to be good enough where he'll be drafted on his own merit. His own game.
I don't know.
Bronny scoring 2 points.
He'll be drafted on his own game. I think he will be on his own game.
I
I
think
ain't
y'all
a Bryce game either. Though.
But don't
It's
miss
better
out.
than Bronny's by far.
just don't discount the fact that LA is. If I'm trying to make movies, if I'm trying to deal with like other parts of the business, that's what LA is known for. So a lot of people are like, I don't understand LA.
Well, Space Jam 2 was terrible though.
But did he make money? I mean, like,
He made the
you
movie.
can make money doing commercials, other endorsements. That's why LeBron's even out there.
You're never gonna be better than Jordan. Dog.
Shaq made Kazam.
Again, I mean, don't have the quote here. Also, there, but Luka's dad coming out
And
with
he
a
did
quote this
the
morning.
track with Biggie too.
Yeah, he's not happy at all. He was very
best
upset with the
song ever
Mavericks
heard.
organization. I know Luka was very upset with the Mavericks organization as well there. So, but before we move on, anybody actually worried? Like, is anybody worried about the Luka injuries and the weight, the conditioning, the way he carries himself off the court? That's been the big thing.
Who's a Lakers fan and
He's
who's
25.
a Dallas fan?
Who the hell is worried? He's 25.
I'm just looking for any type of reason here. Just looking for any justification.
Now, if he was,
for what the Lakers could do.
31,
Man, he's
32, I'd be
Slovenian,
concerned,
man.
but
He
he's
good.
25.
He good.
That's if we're all up here saying that, how ridiculous is it? Like, what are we even
It's
talking
that ridiculous.
about?
It is.
It's that,
Like,
it's that
that's
bad.
just so insane. I mean, what are we doing?
It was
just
ego. It was
ego.
Yeah, definitely ego.
Something happened.
It's been. We're gonna look back. It's gonna be the worst trade in NBA history. Now we're all gonna have to sit here. And
Oh, the 30 for 30 gonna be beautiful.
Exactly. How many years we're gonna see
be
Luka
beautiful.
holding up a
We're gonna find out all the
trophy?
secrets.
This is the equivalent. But you can be.
I got his wife pregnant. The child is half mine. Like, it's gonna be all types of stuff, right?
These are not endorsed by
Yeah, I'm just.
DETV
I know
or its
nothing about
affiliates.
this. This is
The
just
legal department in
jokes.
me.
Don't sue me.
I have the
It's not
NFL.
real.
I have the NFL equivalent of this trade.
What
I
is
don't
that?
know if there is.
Is there?
Nonsense.
Is there?
This is the Herschel Walker trade.
I about to say, is this the Saquon Barkley we let you go
No.
free agent trade?
Saquon, I can see that one.
Yeah,
This-
Saquon is.
Saquon is the closest thing, but I still think the Herschel Walker trade was just as dumb.
Saquon was pretty bad though, man.
In division is definitely
First
dumb.
off, Saquon was wonderful. New York Giants, we thank you, and Danny Jones, we thank you too for being just good enough to suck.
And Danny Jones will be in Saquon Barkley's suite in New Orleans.
Why?
Him and Saquon are best
He the
friends.
reason why Saquon. He
was-
got to pick some new friends, bro.
I'm fine with that. And by the way, Carson Wentz plays for Kansas City. We will get into this a little bit later
Now
in the
you
show.
gonna hate on Carson Wentz? He gave y'all his knee. Gave you his knee.
He got you that
man.
first round bye.
Wentz, we get Andy Reid. Come on.
He got you that first round bye.
He gave you a knee, man.
He got you the
gave
first
a
round
knee
bye.
for you guys, man.
While we're on the topic here of football, though, Jason, we found out here, just got a notification. Update quickly. We're going to talk about it as we move on from the NBA.
Okay.
Still don't understand Luka Doncic, though. We're going to maybe end with that, but just insane. Cooper Kupp now it looks like will be traded from the Rams. The Rams looking for a trade partner
Good
for
job.
Cooper Kupp.
Howie
Just
Roseman.
something to think about.
That's
here.
how you do it.
And guys, also breaking, unfortunately, New Orleans Saints, you have another nasty scandal on your hands. This time it's a sexual abuse scandal with New Orleans Saints higher-ups and employees messing with New Orleans Archdiocese and having other things going on with clergy.
What?
Sexual abuse.
Yeah, that's something that.
You have another nasty.
Yeah, that's a little extreme there. Yeah,
What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a crazy.
They've been hiding this for 7 years. This finally came out.
So that's something again that's going to make the waves here the rest of the
Breaking
week.
news,
I'm sure
guys.
you'll hear that tomorrow, but again, we don't have enough information to talk on that right now.
Worse
but
than Justin
not
Tucker's
looking
thing.
good. Down in New Orleans, where the Super Bowl is this week.
Justin Tucker and Deshaun Watson, the best
As
friends.
well. That's going to
That's a
put a
fact.
damper on New Orleans. But let's keep it going here, guys. Before we move
Kellen
back to the
Moore.
Super Bowl and close out, there was another trade yesterday.
Okay.
Victor Wembanyama got his running mate in San Antonio. De'Aaron Fox traded to the Spurs in a three-team deal with the Bulls and the Kings. Zach LaVine finally heading to Sacramento. LaVine's had a good year this year in Chicago. So the Kings get a guy they've wanted for 6 or 7 years now, just a little bit later than maybe they would have anticipated. But they get their guy in Zach LaVine. But the big one here, De'Aaron Fox going to San Antonio now with Victor
got his wish.
Wembanyama. That's where he wanted to go. We do have a clip on that here. Dennis, if you could roll J, and then we're going to highlight what we think about the trade with De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs.
Alphabet clips.
I-10J.
Alphabet clips. All right.
So that is just what we got. That is the full team framework there. As you see, the Spurs, they'll get De'Aaron Fox. There were a lot of picks in this deal, but it really, when you break it down with what people are going to keep, etc., they're going to get, I believe, 2 first-round picks and 4 second-round picks. The Kings will get alongside Zach LaVine. And then you look at what the Bulls get. Absolutely, really nothing. I mean, the Bulls seem to trade away.
Kevin
it seems
Huerter?
like Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine all in the last 2 years, and they've got absolutely nothing to show for it. The Bulls are a joke of a franchise right now, but let's focus on the Kings and the Spurs.
got more for De'Aaron Fox.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That's what I was looking at.
Yes, they did.
What is this?
They'll be picking for
They
us.
got how many first round
Thoughts here?
picks?
And again, some of those picks
3
are
in
protected. It's
3
most likely
seconds?
going to be 2 first-round picks when
City
it's all said and
Sissoko is
done.
a decent throw-in, though.
He really is.
He could do something. He gets
But again, we talk about the Luka and the AD trade and Luka's fit with LeBron. You got the same issue in Sacramento. DeMar DeRozan and LaVine are the exact same player.
Well, I don't know if the Kings are trying to win anything anytime
I mean,
No, they definitely trying to win.
they play the same position. They both are high volume shooters. I mean, Zach LaVine is more athletic, obviously, but DeRozan's a better shooter. That's not by much.
If you look at the numbers,
So
at least
you-
this year.
He played like Ricky Pierce out there.
So you got Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan,
Mid-range assassin.
DeMar DeRozan,
and Zach LaVine 2004, man.
in the starting 5. You got people. They each need 20 shots apiece to be effective.
Yeah. They don't care.
That's not going to do anything.
They like, we the Kings, baby.
These,
Throw it up.
these are contenders, though. These,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is not like,
That's the thing, right? I mean,
They still got Sabonis' son.
But still,
he hasn't even earned his own, not even his own name yet.
No,
his son.
no.
he's not. He should have been an all-star, by the way.
Arvydas Sabonis is a goat, man.
Yeah, he's a
you know. I'm saying you
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Son,
internationally.
you good. You just ain't Arvydas.
Not
You
your
know what I'm
daddy.
saying? Not your daddy, dog. Just like Bronny
Better than
James.
Bronny, though.
Not your daddy.
To
You're definitely better
Doctor's
than
point,
Bronny.
though, you're the Kings, right? You make this deal. You don't want to pay De'Aaron Fox. He's coming up. He's going to need a contract in a few years. He's going to get big money. His numbers are good, but he's, again, struggling in this form of the NBA. He's a sub 35% three-point shooter.
Right.
I mean, very efficient for what he does. He can score the basketball still. He can assist. Obviously, I think 7 assists a game this year. A very good player. But the Spurs are going to have to give him that max contract here in a few years, pairing him with Wembanyama, which they will. So how do you guys feel about this deal for the Spurs? Obviously, I think it's. I mean, I would make it still if I'm San Antonio.
like
Victor
it.
needs his guy.
He does.
Right? But where do you guys stand on this one here with San Antonio? How good or how big of a deal is it for the Spurs?
I love it because the Spurs did have to give up Castle.
And that's the big one, right? How, I mean,
or anybody else that's on the
they have
roster.
to keep Castle.
Castle, they got to keep Jeremy Sohan. They got to keep their
Vassell as
core.
well.
Vassell,
Vassell
they
is
got to keep
there.
their core and still brought in De'Aaron Fox. But also, you're looking at Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul, and De'Aaron Fox. They're like 1, 2, and 7 as far as pick and roll efficiency. That's pick and pop all day, or pick and or rolling, or Wembanyama rolling to the basket, or you can dish out to the corner 3. And Pop's not even coaching yet.
No.
Think about this. Coach Pop is still, on the mend from the medical issues. So imagine if he comes back and gets to coach this guy with Victor, with Chris Paul. Chris Paul's gonna be a 6-man now.
Unless he
That's
gets
saying a
traded,
lot because De'Aaron Fox is starting point guard. You can't bring him in and put him on.
and Chris Paul will play good for 6-man.
Yeah, yeah. Sohan's still developing, too.
Yeah, and that's
He's going to be an elite defender when he gets. He's a beast.
The Spurs are going to be what OKC was a couple years ago. They're going to shock everybody and start just winning games and being back to playing championship basketball. I'll give it 2-3 years. Because championship level basketball. I'm not saying they're going to win anything, but they'll be back in the conversation.
You're
Because
saying they win a playoff series.
yeah, because now
I can see playoffs.
Yeah, the piece they're building now is like OKC. OKC was like what? How many games away from going to the finals last year?
A series, right?
Yeah, series, yeah.
There's a series away. So that's what I see now with the adding. Because the thing is, the Spurs don't have to swing for the fences this year in free agency. They can play this year out. And they can go into the summer and get somebody else.
And Wemby might change that, but have we ever seen a big-time free agent go to San Antonio? I mean, again, and Wemby being there changes everything.
Big-time
We had
free
Duncan
agent?
there. There were other guys
Never.
there. I mean, that's just never really
big time
happened.
free agent.
From within.
It's all internal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they need a big time. I think
Wemby's
Wemby's.
going to need somebody else. Like, let me ask you this then. I'll
Yeah,
rephrase it.
yeah.
Is De'Aaron Fox good enough to be the second best player on a championship team?
Yes.
I don't know if he is.
No. But I'll
maybe
say
your third. He could be your third
I
best
think
player.
he's second. I think number 2 option.
But I will say this: with Wemby being who he is, I mean, I think Wemby has, like they said, something crazy. Like 2 years, he has more blocks than I think anybody. Like 399 players in the NBA combined. It's something crazy.
He's ridiculous.
I mean, with that, and then you have Sohan, you have Vassell. I think the difference between them and OKC is they have the defense. OKC doesn't really have that front court
Especially
defense.
rim protection.
Yeah.
I think
Other
Wemby
than
in
Chet.
3 years becomes a dominant player.
Yep.
Hold on.
right now,
Wait, why is he's averaging 24, 10, and 4? How's he not dominant now?
Well, I'm saying they're still, though,
on
to
paper,
Doctor's point here, I mean,
Roman
they're
is
21
that
and
house
25.
Yeah, he ain't
they're
there
not,
yet.
they're not winning.
He ain't there yet, though.
They're not
He
winning.
ain't there yet.
It's not
I get it though,
reflecting
but I'm
in
saying,
wins.
but his numbers say otherwise right now.
He
I
got
know
the efficiency, though.
he doesn't pass the eye test for us yet, but he's put up dominant numbers right now.
I'm saying grown men.
Oh,
With Roman strength.
No, he a
house
couple more
numbers.
PB&J sandwiches. And
Yes,
some,
he needs
some milk
that.
and
Plus,
that's
he's
it.
also doing like I watched him when he played with the Sixers. He's flopping. He's dirty. He does little mind games. Like he's a kid.
He's still
But he's
settling
a
for
kid.
J's.
He acts like a kid. He plays like a kid. Let that man. Let Shaq just coach him for 1 year.
I wish he would have
grown
coached
man.
Embiid for a year.
He
Coach Embiid
offered.
would have listened.
He
Yeah,
offered. He
Embiid.
offered. Shaq offered.
He's already as good as Karl Anthony Towns. So, you know.
Especially defense. Defense, he might be better than
Oh, he's way better than Karl.
But in 3 years, that man will be dominant.
Yeah,
And he's not there
he could
yet.
be the
And
best player in the
that's
league.
just
in 3
adds
years.
fuel to when I said my statement.
Yeah,
That's
he's
why-
good now. I'm not going to
No,
knock
I'm
him.
talking about with championship as Richard. That's why I think in 3 years you might have to have them in that conversation.
And just go back now to the
Because
Mavericks
LeBron
point,
retired
right?
by then.
If you're in Texas, you've got Houston. They're the 3rd seeded in the West now. They're playing fantastic basketball under Ime Udoka here this last year. They're on the rise. San Antonio, they just get De'Aaron Fox. Now they're on the rise with Fox
Right.
and Wembanyama. You got these team Oklahoma City, number 1 seed in the West with those young stars. Dallas is right in that mix there, right, with those 3 other teams that are all going to be vying for a championship.
Nah, they ain't in that
and
mix.
then they make this deal, and that's my opinion. Then they make
Yeah.
this deal. I've read an interesting thing, and this could be something we never even speak of again. They're under new ownership. Rumors are the ownership wants to move the team to Los. This could be completely wrong.
This is the casino theory.
This is the casino theory. What do you think about that? I mean, they want to build a certain casino team. To the new owners, apparently basketball doesn't mean a lot to them. They're more in the sports gambling business.
That's most
et
owners,
cetera.
though,
But
yeah.
They want to apparently turn the Mavericks into almost like a show thing, right, in Vegas, like in the same arena as where you go to the casino.
The semi-pro.
I mean,
Jackie
it's weird, but I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble finding reasons for why they would do this. I still am. As we sit here now, an hour later, I just don't understand. There's a conspiracy that they shipped off Luka so they could use the NBA as leverage to move to Vegas. You know, if they had Luka in Dallas, now they wouldn't be able to make that move. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I mean, Matthew, you read it. I don't have enough time to explain it all, but what do you like? You read the whole thing, so you understand it. What do you
This is
think?
the worst conspiracy.
Yeah,
theory of
I
all.
just don't think. If we know about it, I just don't think it's good conspiracy.
Yeah,
like everybody knows about it. And look, here's the other problem. Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, half of it is true. They already did this with Seattle, and it's turned out miserably for the NBA because people keep saying you got to get an expansion team to Seattle. You got to they have no choice. The next expansion teams that are going to come out are going to be Vegas and Seattle. So they're going to bring it. So the NBA is indebted to bring Seattle back a champion NBA team, and now you have the Dallas. I don't think there's much stock in that because at the end of the day, I think Aaron, the doctor said it good. I think you got groups, and these groups have. They want return on investment, and they want certain other metrics, and that's all they care about. And what they're saying is, we're saving $40 million this year.
And you're still gonna watch it. You're still gonna watch us.
Yeah.
NBA is so watered down right now.
It is bad. It's a fact.
It is. Again,
We
it's
need
just a lot of
David
ways.
Stern to come back.
But again, they sold the team, what, a year ago almost?
Yeah.
At this point with Mark Cuban? I mean, obviously the old ownership does not, I mean, this isn't even a thought. They don't make this deal at all.
No.
So again, I mean, we'll see.
Listen, Mark Cuban brought Jason Kidd back home in the winning ring. He would never trade Luka.
It's just, I mean, imagine how he's feeling again. Luka,
Never trade Luka.
Again, word out of his camp is he was very upset about
He
it.
was surprised too.
He said tears were something that was thrown around. So we'll see. Again, he's not happy, but he's off to the Lakers, so he's going to be a Los Angeles Laker. And you would now anticipate for the rest of his career. I would imagine he's going to sign. You don't think so, huh?
No, I'm shaking my head because I
it's
gotta
true.
see him in a Lakers
Yep, it's
uniform.
devastating. I'm with you. I'm really upset about it.
77. The hockey numbers in LA.
The Lakers won't let him go.
No,
they're going to get.
That's
And
not.
they shouldn't. I mean, he fell right into their lap. It's going to be the biggest worst
be there
trade
10
in
years.
history. It's
Yeah,
a disaster
he's
for
good.
everybody. If you're not a Lakers fan, it's a disaster. I just feel for all the Mavericks fans out
There'll be some
there.
fake fans jumping
I
ship
mean,
Lakers
man.
down.
Oh, you
fact.
are kidding.
All
but the
Lakers
Mavericks
fans
fan.
All Lakers fans are fake fans. Every Lakers
That's
fans
true.
are fake fans.
especially if you're on the East Coast.
The
Definitely.
Lakers,
definitely.
Cowboys, and Yankees.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alabama football. That is.
I'm gonna say this.
And that'll change now to Ohio
I
State.
think-
I think they jumped
That's
ship.
true.
I think if you're a Lakers fan under 45, you might be fake. But 45 and up, you probably watch Magic at some point. So I gotta give him a little bit of
He
slack.
probably jumped
I'm
ship
just
back
saying.
then, though.
I'm just saying. You gotta give him a little
Nah,
bit.
I ain't giving no shit.
45 and no.
No.
That's my thing.
Nah, man.
I mean, I like him.
You had Boston and you had Philadelphia on the East Coast, man. There's no way you want to tell me.
Knicks.
I will root.
And the Knicks.
I mean, I don't care
and the
who-
Bulls.
I don't care.
In the middle.
Bulls. We know I'm a big Jordan guy.
Yeah,
that was
I ain't going for that, bro. If you're a Laker fan, you're a hopper, bro. You just that's your squad. You just,
I would have rather seen him go anywhere else than Los Angeles Lakers.
What, Boston?
Yes.
Minnesota.
I don't even care. I would have rather
Boston?
seen
I
him go to.
disagree.
I know that's crazy. I know. But here's the
I was
reason I
with
feel
you,
Doc,
right,
though. I'm an
till-
East Coast guy. Like I
Toronto
don't, if the
Raptors?
Lakers were playing the Celtics in the finals, I'd be rooting for Boston. Like it wouldn't even be close to me. I mean, I would go East Coast over West. That's just how I am.
Okay. All right.
I
Death Row.
respect the
Yeah,
fans
clip
here on
that.
the
Clip
fans
that.
here on the East Coast. It just means more to them
just
than it does
anti-Jason.
to those guys out
We
west.
know that. We know that. It's okay. That's why you're here.
Wait, what did he say? I missed it. What did he say?
He's
That's why
anti-Jason.
I'm anti-Jason.
All right, guys, let's jump back in here and finish off with the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Yeah.
Eagles are back. It's a rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs. The line opened up at Kansas City -2. It's now Kansas City minus
get right. Come on over
1.5.
here.
Your over/under is set. Over/under is set here at 49 points here. Yeah, there we go. Chair switch.
Shipping this. Okay.
Get your. That's wonderful of you. Move your spit cup.
Birds, go Birds. Let's get everybody
So
in the
let's
same.
break this thing down, guys.
right.
Matthew, I believe this was your Super Bowl call beginning of the
was.
year. Chiefs and the Eagles. I have a ticket in on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl I put in August, so that's still riding for me. I hope it does not cash. I hope the Eagles win this thing there on Sunday. We've been waiting. The Eagles got Saquon
Birds.
Barkley in the offseason,
Yep.
and of course, never looked back. They were fantastic, #1 rushing offense in the league. And guys, here we go. The defense, though, is the big switch,
Flip
right?
the
Big
bird. I mean,
Fangio
that's fine.
changing
Not
that
the bird.
complete defense as we get into this one. So let's break it down here, guys. What are you looking for on Sunday? What are maybe some matchups or something that you want to see, need to see in the Eagles and the Chiefs that are going to maybe give the outcome that you will have? We're going to get to our picks later on in the show. But, Doctor, I'm going to start with you here. What are you looking for out of the Eagles? How confident are you? And, again, what do you think of the Eagles getting that 1.5 here?
First off, we good. First, Brandon Graham coming back.
Oh, that'd be
I see another photograph of him sacking. It'll be so in my basement is him sacking Tom Brady. Right next to that's going to be Patrick Mahomes just in the ground with Jalen Carter just pile driving and getting the flag right at the end. And I'll give you another prediction, which then makes Carson Wentz come out.
Oh, jeez. I
And
would
have
love
to-
that.
And then Carson Wentz beats the Eagles?
No, I don't think that happens. Don't think that
Carson Wentz
happens
ain't
at all.
beat nobody. We saw what he did against the Broncos in week
Oh, yeah,
three.
it was bad.
Quinyon Mitchell is about to do the same thing he did almost to every team. You won't even hear his name that much. But Quinyon Mitchell might be one of the greatest defensive players on the Eagles team.
And I will give, this is the only thing I'm giving credit for. Give it up for the exciting whites. For Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. Exciting whites. Exciting
Cooper
whites.
DeJean is
Tell them exciting whites, baby.
What? And we
Whites.
talked about the
And
cap season.
Calcaterra and Dallas Goedert, I'll give that too. Because it's about to just be like, and then you have, so first thing, Saquon's going to score the first touchdown, rushing touchdown.
So you got
You'll
to
see some
put that
surprise.
bet in. Saquon for
Put that
first
bet in right there.
touchdown. There
Let
you
me
I
go.
already got my bets in with the Super Bowl, bro.
I see the over-under of shots on Taylor Swift. I'm going with the under 15. That's my number right there. Less than 15 shots at Taylor Swift because she won't be
parlay
happy. Yeah, parlay that. What else do we see? Bet Rivers. I do see that Jalen Hurts is actually going to have a surprisingly better passing game. The reason I say that is because I do think they're going to load the box. They're really focused on trying to stop an offensive line that you just can't stop, a healthy offensive line because you also got Dickerson is back, Cam's there, you got Mulata, like everybody's healthy. Lane Johnson looks really good right now. So you're going to see a really confident offensive line. And you're not going to be able to stop. You're going to have Devontae. You're going to have AJ actually scoring. You're going to see a back and forth between Calcaterra and Dallas Goedert because I do think Calcaterra needs more shine. All I'm saying is that one-on-one, that's a different squad. And if you take the same 22 Eagles versus what the Chiefs have, the Chiefs haven't changed that much over time.
That's right.
So if you look at 3 years ago, first off, much respect to the Kansas City Chiefs, so I'm not going to sit back and pretend like even going for a three-peat means nothing. The fact you just gotten 2 in a row, this is your third, already had your third win, trying to get your fourth, I'll give it to you. Same quarterback, much respect. But I do think the Eagles loaded up. Shout out to Howie Roseman, greatest GM in the league. Is there dissension amongst the ranks with the greatest GM in the league?
he ain't
I
that.
mean, for what they did, if they win it this year, it's going to be hard not for him to be. I think he's exactly.
He finally hit on something. I'll say finally hit on something. He ain't the greatest.
Hey,
Who
do we the last 3 years he's been good, and that's coming. We sat here 3 years ago the draft show.
Yeah, let me qualify. Last 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, cool. All right,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Where are we coming with this?
Last 3 years, I'm with you.
All right, yeah,
I'm with you.
got
No
that.
argument.
Okay,
No
I'm
argument.
with you.
No argument.
I felt that.
Okay. Last
But
2
I
years,
mean,
I'm
it
with
all
you.
started. We sat here on that draft night. We had our show. Then AJ Brown was an Eagle a little bit later
Jalen
on.
Rager wasn't.
Then they drafted.
I was there for
JJ
that.
on the Whiteside too. Like I said, it was a rough.
Ortega
He was
Whiteside.
a rough drafter up until a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and he's really hit on those picks
He
these
definitely
last
has.
couple years. I mean, it doesn't get much better. Can't do much better than what he's done.
So did y'all hit
in
on
the
Jordan
last 3
Davis
years.
yet, or is it
He's
still?
playing
That's
well.
coming.
Yes, he's looking
Nah,
good.
he's played well last couple games.
And shout out, first off, Howie Roseman is a fine supporter of the East Side Eagles for the last 9 years. Just want to say that.
Oh.
Some Howie love here in Delaware.
There you go.
Howie Roseman.
There you go.
Also,
You got paid,
Howie,
grad?
Howie spoke at our graduation ceremony in 2021.
Oh.
So shout out to Howie Roseman.
Okay,
Shout
Howie.
out to Howie.
A little bit of shine.
So I'll say, it seems like
Just
after
saying.
that speech in 2021, he really started to figure his stuff out. That might have been the turning point when he came and gave that speech in 2021.
And the reason we still work with Howie is because we don't give Howie any tips. Yes, I think Howie stopped being the smartest man in the room. I think Howie stopped trying
Like
to
Nico
pick-
Harrison.
Yes, like Nico Harrison. I still think there were times that before 3 years ago, Howie was trying to just like think outside the box and try to do something totally different. So whiffing on Justin Jefferson, not a good conversation. But at the same time, look, if Georgia's doing well, I'm pulling people from Georgia. If whoever's doing well, I'm gonna just pull some of the best players out there. And then Jalen Carter, that was probably one of the best moves. Like no one even thought that he was gonna take him. He's been the most dominant player on defense rookie this year.
I mean, if you were to redraft that class, it would be hard for him not to be a top 2 pick in that draft. And we sat here on the big board that night, right? He was 1 or 2 player on my big board, but the crash with Georgia happened. That was a very tragic incident that allowed him to drop. And then Howie able to make that pick, I believe, at 9 that year. What a job there to get Jalen Carter. And then Jordan Davis the year before that, who's now starting, as Matthew said, starting to come on, play really well here in the playoffs. Those 2 guys he got in the secondary last year, Quinyon Mitchell,
Carter's
Cooper
maturity
DeJean.
is amazing this year, though.
I mean, he's been a difference maker, but again, Vic Fangio. You look at the additions they made in the offseason, right? Starts with Vic Fangio, candidate for defensive coordinator or coordinator of the year. Then you look at the 2 rookies, DeJean and Mitchell, both nominees for defensive rookie.
Could have drafted him San Fran.
Zach Bond,
Howie
a
Roseman.
defensive player of the year. All the additions they had are all up for an award or an accolade for the season. I mean, you just can't beat that.
And Kellen Moore did with the Eagles what he can never do with that team in Arlington.
I agree.
Since we had all this Dallas conversation.
Oh, you ran the ball.
He ran the ball, and he also didn't have Dak Prescott. So it helps, is all I'm saying.
It all does help. And then, Doctor, to your point, you said looking for a Jalen Hurts game on Sunday. Again, through the regular season, he took a lot of heat for not doing well enough. I guess it doesn't just come down to winning games if you're in the NFL, apparently, to other people.
Jalen Hurts is your boy.
So,
Absolutely not.
So again, I think thank goodness the Jalen Hurts
last week,
disrespect
Jalen, 55
is
points.
starting
Jalen.
here. But again, offense wasn't asked to do a lot through the passing game in the regular season because they didn't have to. Doctor, over-under here for the Super Bowl for Jalen Hurts, 213.5 yards. Seems a little bit low there. You like the over on that?
I'll take the over. I'll take
213.5.
I think last week was a statement game, and I think the Eagles have to come out swinging. Like, I think the Eagles have to. What I appreciate about last week was, because this is how they lost in 22, they foot to the gas and then started slowing down. They did the same thing that the Falcons started doing, that horrible game against the Patriots, and said, you know what, like, we got this game. Got too confident, 10-point lead at the half, and then lost it. When they played against the Commodores, definitely foot to the gas. We're killing it the entire time. Second half, oh yeah, zoom. So this is what they need to do. I think last week was an example of that. They come out strong, they come out consistent, and they also come out with unfinished business. There's a picture of Jalen Hurts when the confetti's coming down, and this is in 22, the 2023 year, and he's just like fuming, and you can see this man is determined. And I said, when I saw this picture, because Jalen Hurts didn't run away, he wasn't trying to just shrink from the situation. He took it all in, and he wanted to see Eagles green come down. I think it's going to take place on this bowl right here. So I got the Eagles. Everything that you put out there, it's an over. And I still think that is, except for Taylor Swift, I think it's the under because she'll be crying. They don't want to see mascara coming down.
I'm feeling really good about it too, Doc. I really am. One of my favorite bets for this Sunday is the Eagles' leading receiver in the playoffs has been that big tight end number 88, Dallas Goedert. His over-under for receptions is set at 4.5. My favorite prop bet on Sunday is give me the over. I think he has 5 catches in that game. He's been the leading receiver throughout the playoffs for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' passing game. So for me, my favorite prop bet of Super Bowl Sunday will be Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions.
4.5. Oh, I'll take
You
that.
getting 5? I think you're getting 5.
My top prop bet. Guys might like this one. Skinny Batman over 49.5 yards.
100%. 100%.
That's my top prop
Yes.
bet. Because McDuffie's probably going to be on AJ, and then you just go over the top with
I like that.
Devontae.
I like that.
Yes.
The whole game.
How about this one too, guys? Just
Fly
looking
routes.
through it. Just looking through some of the bets on here now. Jahan Dotson over/under set at half a catch. We think Jahan Dotson can grab at least one in that game on Sunday, huh?
No, man.
That's a close one, but
I think he can get a catch.
half a
I mean,
catch,
I wouldn't bet on it, but I think he can get a catch.
Yeah, there
I
you
wouldn't
go.
take that one.
2.5 yards receiving. That's it. That's all I got him for.
2.5. Oh, he can get that.
Yeah, that's it.
He can get that.
Is that what it is? 3.5 yards. Yeah. Wow. Wow. There you go. He had a big catch in the NFC Championship game there against the Commanders.
The former Commodore. Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's right. Yeah,
That is
former.
true.
So Matthew, let's get your opinion here. Again, we're making our picks here shortly before we close out. Chiefs and the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes, we've both seen what he's done to our team, the Eagles, and your team twice here in the last couple of years. Your thoughts on how this is going, and what do you think? You can't talk either.
I hear the dirty word.
But your thoughts here, I want to see,
team has
what are
been
you
there,
thinking of the
so,
Super Bowl matchup here, and how you see it going on Sunday?
I think that the difference between when we played them and now is they don't have the same defensive personnel in certain spots. Snead, not having Snead is huge. Kelsey is, well, no disrespect, I think he's a Hall of Famer, one of the top tight ends of all time, but he's definitely down a little bit in terms of how we're used to seeing him play and everything else like that. And then I know their running game is trying to still figure things out, but it's still a little inconsistent. I mean, Pacheco, who's kind of like the engine for them, he's still really, I think, getting over that injury.
Yeah, he was
and then
looked the
Hunt
same.
is more better in a third down running back role at this stage of his life. So I don't see it. I think the Eagles will win. I think they'll get, I'm gonna say 36 points, and I'm gonna say Chiefs will get like 23.
36-23. Eagles cover. Dr. The Eagles covered. They covered easily there with Matthew's prediction.
And I guarantee Mahomes will throw an interception.
Oh,
do
there
think
you
so.
go.
I think
That's
that
a
as
bet
well.
to me.
In 4 Super Bowls, he has thrown 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
I think
He's going to throw.
Mahomes
He will be
plus
rushed.
money
Five
to throw that
interceptions.
interception.
It's 5
plus
interceptions.
100
He's
to throw an
definitely going to throw an
interception.
interception. I don't
That's
see how.
plus money there, Matthew. Telling you to get
I don't
that
see
in
how he
right there.
won't.
Matthew's got the Eagles winning by 13. Doctor, let's get your official prediction. I know you got the Eagles on top on Sunday. Your official prediction here.
See, I'm scared. So 36. You said 36-23.
Yep.
That scares me because you have to put the Chiefs away. Like you have to just do some embarrassing stuff, and it's probably not going to happen because it's the Chiefs. Like they're not.
But I think they're going to get deflated.
I hope so.
Because Saquon is weapon X, man. He's going to come in. He's going to blow him up. I think Spags is going to because look, they're already nervous because of what happened with Cook. So I know Spags has been in that room like, we got to cover the run. We got to cover the run. And I think it's going to open up
And then he
things for
does a
Goddard.
backwards
I think it's
flip.
going to open up, maybe which plays into your Hurts idea. I think it's going to open up the passing for Philadelphia. And I just think Hurts can make those throws. And you still have to, even with the loaded box, you still have to take over the offensive line, which is almost next to impossible. And then you have to then clamp Saquon, which no one's been able to do this year. So
I got 28-13. I think there'll be a lot of running. I think the Eagles take a lot of time off the clock. I do. And I feel like you're going to take time off the clock. You keep Patrick off the field. And I think you also have a good defense that right on the line, defensive line, your secondary, big play Slay may something. I feel like he might have an interception. Quinyon Mitchell might have an interception. Cooper DeJean might have an interception. Like you have enough players that you could do some work. But I'll say 28-13.
28-13. Two
28.
double-digit victories.
28.
Now, Jason, again, I'm going to give mine last year, but I don't know if I have the guts to have the Eagles beating Patrick Mahomes by double digits. I just don't know if that's even a possibility. What do you think?
28 is a great number. But I think the other team's going to have 28.
Who?
I think it's going to be Kansas City with 28. And the Eagles, well, that's 20. I think it's going to be 28-24. I think it's going to be a late touchdown. Pat Mahomes to a surprise receiver. I'm thinking maybe either Hollywood or DeAndre scores his game-winning touchdown.
No Gray? Okay.
Only because I've learned not to bet against Brady. I've lost a few Super Bowl bets like that.
That's why you heard me last year. I wrote 15 the whole way.
This is from being history. Like, oh, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not betting against the house.
I did it last year.
And you guys are playing against how many referees are there on the field?
You're right. Listen, you're right about that. I'll give you more for the Super Bowl over here.
So you're playing 11 versus 15. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? You're not playing 11
and
versus 11.
That's true.
So nasty.
Actually, you remember, and I still got PTSD on that holding call.
Oh, yeah.
These views are not reflected of DETV Sports.
Oh, no, these views are definitely DETV.
But on a serious note, the refs aside, I can't bet against Mahomes. I've done it this regular season, the last two regular seasons, and it's bit me in the butt.
Fellas, what's his record just on betting though? What's his record?
No. Actually,
I just done pretty good. I give Jason credit. He's done
predictions.
He's
done pretty well. Until he gets his heart into it. He's just
when he's just doing analytical, he's pretty good.
Analytical, and the Eagles hate drips in.
Yeah, when the heart comes into play.
Did y'all feel his heart when I walked in the door? Did y'all feel the emotion?
We felt it.
So,
but this isn't Eagles hate though. This is me saying. This is
analytical, Jason.
This is history. We're going for a three-peat. This is history.
Yeah.
The first team that ever do it will be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Are you rooting for history or are you rooting for the Chiefs?
What are you rooting for? What's in your
history.
History.
That's his way of saying he's rooting against the Eagles.
Just history.
That's history.
History. So you got 28-24.
28-24.
You got Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Okay. And Jason, to your point, last year we sat up here. I rode 15 in the Chiefs all the way to the Super Bowl, making money each round. I'm the only one that picked them in the Super Bowl last year.
I picked the 49ers.
I know you
both
did.
times they played Kansas City.
Yeah.
I picked them both times.
Because I know better, and I know how good Mahomes is, but that changes this year. The three-peat, it won't happen. History will have to wait as the Eagles will win this game 27-24.
Okay.
On Sunday.
Aaron,
3 points. It's going to be a nail-biter. It's going to be a nail-biter. Eagles, and again, we don't use Mahomes winning close games like you guys said. Mahomes usually pulls out those one-possession games. We know those records. It stops this week. The defense makes a big play late, and the Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Brother, I'm going to further context to my Chiefs pick. Every team that's played against the Super Bowl has actually had a better overall roster than the Chiefs, like top to bottom overall. Every team they beat, and again, you got a better overall roster. This time, again, San Fran had it both times. There's no way that they should have lost. San Fran should have lost to KC twice.
Yeah, it's dark.
Like Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback the first time.
But they still had overall. The defense was like that. Defense should have smacked him around. They didn't do it.
They have talent.
I learned from not betting Tom Brady. I can't do it with Mahomes. It's no hate.
I can't blame you. I
know he's got the ball at the end.
Yeah, he got the ball at the end.
He has the ball. Yeah. But I think
it's gonna be a rough.
I think it's a ground and pound. I think they go out there. I think the
dominate
Eagles
possession.
Dominate possession. Yep. I think when you look at the minutes, it'll be the Eagles take up like some insane amount of time.
Okay.
Because he's running the ball. But you're right. If Patrick has the ball and is like right there at the end, a 3-point difference.
You ain't getting the call.
You don't want to be the other team. I'm with you.
You ain't getting no questionable call, brother.
And
they like first down.
All you gotta do is touch him. Oh my goodness, roughing the pass.
And Roger Goodell had a press conference today, and he was asked about the referees in the game.
And the ground. Make sure you do not wet the surface.
Yeah,
of New
I don't want to get into too much about that. That cost them the Super Bowl that year. That pass rush was negated completely because of playing service. Not going to be the case here on a dome field here.
Well, maybe they're trying to cut lights off on y'all with your momentum like they did us, and let you guys come back. New Orleans last time. I'm just saying they're known for doing dirty like that in the Superdome. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah.
It would have been that way. You didn't help us.
That was a long time ago, though, wasn't it? When the Ravens did they have electricity back then?
I mean, they did. Then Beyonce took it all at halftime.
Oh,
but we got 2 of what you're trying to achieve, so it's okay. Catch up.
He says 2 like he played. Jason, you on the field.
2.
You weren't there.
2. You're not on the field either.
No, but I got my chain.
I got my chain.
I got my chain, baby.
That'll do it for us here on A Money. Closing words, guys, as we round it out. Eagles and the Chiefs, Super Bowl 59. Sunday evening. Oh, yeah.
Closing words. We're going to blow the whistle. I will not say the proper word that comes on, but I do want to say, go Birds. This would be historic for so many children here in the Delaware area. I want to just shout out to all the haters out there. We look forward to seeing y'all next week. Go Birds. Go Birds.
We'll see you on Sunday, baby. Go Eagles.